YouTube. I'm D, and today I'm going to just go through the workflow part of in StackStorm. So workflow is basically a special type of actions that contains a series of actions or a list of actions. So basically, you can think of workflow as a collection of actions, and in which we can let each actions to run in a specific order, or we can set a condition for one of the actions, and when the condition matches, the next actions will be triggered because of that. So, but I just want to go through the very basic stuff about StackStorm workflow today. So I'm going to create a workflow. It will be a very simple workflow. That workflow contains about 3 very simple actions, and those actions are going to be the Python script actions type. So I didn't see there is an example for a workflow that contains Python script actions, but I'm going to try to create that anyway. So, and then once again, I'm going to use the my home lab VMware, which is the Ubuntu 2004. So I have a StackStorm installed on this machine. So let's see what we have at this moment. StackStorm. I'm going to run this. So last time I created a very simple pack that contains only one actions at the moment. So let's just look at that. So that's the only actions that is available in the pack. Horizon 2. I'm going to create. So okay, for now, in order to create a workflow, I need to. I need a YAML file that describes or defines that workflow as an entry point. So that entry point needs to be a YAML file. So basically, I'll need at least 2 YAML files for the workflow creation. One of them is the metadata file that describes the workflow, and the other one is the YAML file that lists the actions that will be run as a part of the workflow. So okay, let me create the meta YAML file for workflow first. But before I do that, I want to go to the default action folder. Let me see. Okay. So this is the pack directory I created last time. So I want to, let me see here, shall you know what, I'm going to create another directory. I just call it workflow, and inside this workflow directory, it's going to create a YAML file and call it hello workflow YAML file. So I'm going to put something here for the workflow. So if we go back to the StackStorm documentation website, and here is a very brief descriptions about the workflow itself. So for now, StackStorm only supports 2 types of workflow, and one of them is Orchestra. Hope I said it right, but and the other one is action chain. So action chain is the legacy type of workflow, and I don't think it's. I mean, for if you guys want to create a new type of workflows in your StackStorm instance, then definitely gonna choose this type, the Orchestra type, instead of the action chain. So we're only gonna look at this type of workflow today. So let's not go over each section's workflow on this page. So here we have the workflow definition page. So it has some it's the workflow model, and here we see the pretty much all the attributes that we can put on the YAML file that defines the workflow. And the only required attributes are the version and the tasks. The version is definitely just the version of the workflow that you want to specify, and the test is the list of the StackStorm actions that you want to add on the workflow. So, yeah, if you want to look at the sample StackStorm workflow YAML definitions, then this is what it could look like. So we have the description, which is the optional field. So it's the version. This is the required field. Give the number for the version. Descriptions. Input. Basically, input is the variables that you can define, and this whatever you define under the input field is going to be available for all the tasks you're going to define later on these files down here. So here. And here you can also list you can also define some variables here, and you simply just give the vars right here. So it says that is a list of variables defined for the scope of this workflow. Okay. Let me see. My version. I was putting 1.0. Description. I can just copy a simple hello workflow. Okay, let me see the input. Do I want to put input? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, let me copy that. Okay. Yeah, it says that. So if you look at these comments here for the input, it said that if we don't give any value for a input parameter, it's gonna be given a default value. But I don't know what the default value is gonna be at this moment. It's probably a string, I guess. I'll think of it as a string, but we'll see. Copy the vars. Here's the task. You know what? Let me. So I didn't save that YAML file, but before that I think I should just create separate that StackStorm actions then, so that I can have something to add on the workflow YAML file. So let me create the action YAML files first. When I say action YAML file, I really means that they are the actions in the data file. Okay. Let me see here. I'm just gonna create. Okay. I'm just gonna create workflow. Hello. Action _1.yaml. Okay, just. I just do something that is simple. Okay. So I'm going to just copy the contents, but I will need to modify it a little bit. Action 1. It's going to be a Python script, so I want to name the Python script file be just like this. Okay. And I'll copy the I just created the same Python script file, but I will need to modify the print just a bit. two more actions, so I'm just basically just gonna copy paste it and change the contents of those like action files a little bit. So what I'm gonna do, okay, let's copy the actions YAML file, the actions transport to YAML file. YAML file. Python file. There's going to be a action 2 Python script file, and save for action 3 Python script file. Okay, I'm going to modify each of them. There's going to be action 2. It's going to be action 2. It's going to be action 2. Then modify action 2 Python. I'm gonna do the same thing for 3, for action number 3 here. 3, 3. Okay, cool. I want to register the new actions, just want to make sure that I create those actions correctly so that StackStorm can recognize them before I even put them on the workflow. Let's see. Alright. Let's see. Yep, looks good. So, action. Please. So now I have a 4 actions in total. The very first one action is is the one I created in the last video, and I created 3 more at this time. So the total number of the actions for the Hello SD2 pack is 4. What I'm gonna do is to create a workflow, and then I'm gonna add the new actions that I just created onto that workflow. So I'm gonna go to the workflow directory. So I just gonna also create a file. Let's say, let me call it hello workflow.yaml. Okay, so version is 1.0. Descriptions to be this. This is a no. Okay. What else I want? What else I can create? You know what? Okay. Well. So input is not a required field, so I can skip the input part. But for if you guys wanna, if you guys just create a workflow that requires the input, then go ahead and put the input file there. But for in my case, I simply gonna I would forget about the input part, but I will create the vars. So this is gonna be a 3 vars. It's gonna be the task. Okay. So task number 1. It's gonna be the action, and remember the actions need to. So just keep in mind that when we define a task on the workflows, make sure that we give the full name, meaning that we give the pack's name and followed by the dot and the name of the action. So just like this. Okay. So the pack is hello_SD2, and the actions that all the action I just created is this one. So So I create these new actions. I want to give the next films here. Okay, so this is a text model. So the text model lists all the attributes that we can give in each of the texts. So which is this section really? So it's under the under the single individual text. So these are the attributes that we can put for each of the texts on the workflow, and none of the attributes are required. But I want to try maybe a couple of them. So I'll try the next one. The next attributes for inside the task is to define what happens after the task is complete. So next I will say I want to just do the task 2. So that just means that after task 1 is executing, then I want to run the task 2. But at this moment, I don't have task 2 defined yet. I'll go define task 2 for now. Let me copy the name here. Let's change it a little bit. Task 2 is action. Next. Gonna do task 3 and define task 3. Task 3 action. Task 3. But for the very last task, which is a task 3, I'm just gonna give the name of the actions. Like when the task 3 is run, I want to run that. I want to run these specific actions, and after the task 3 is run, then that's gonna mark the completions of the entire workflow run. So okay. I think. I think that's it. Is there any? Oh, I can also list the output. So after I define all the tasks, list of the key value pairs to output. Yeah. Well, since my actions is not gonna change the value of the vars, so I'm gonna yeah, I'm gonna list. I'm gonna just delete it for now. So this is my very simple workflow. Let me save it. So the YAML file, which is a hello workflow, I should yeah. I should rename it to be, let's see, let me rename it entry point. So I want to rename this YAML file because this is the YAML file that I created as the entry point of the workflow. So this is not really, so what I just created is not really the metadata of the workflow. Is basically the entry point of the workflow. Basically, this is the file that tells the workflow to run what actions in what kind of work. But I have to create the workflow metadata files as well, because that is required for a workflow creation. So I'm going to do that. I wonder if I should move. Yeah, let me move it. Let me move it to the actions folder. So now let me step back a bit. Now inside this action folder, we have not only just the actions, the YAML, and the Python script file, but also the YAML file I created as the workflow entry point. Now I'll go back to the workflow directory, so we can create a new YAML file. So it's going to call it a hello workflow. This is going to be the middle of the workflow definition file. So let me see. Okay, this is the file type of file I was looking for on this documentation side. So yeah, this is the media file. I'm gonna copy. Well, okay, I'm gonna copy some of them. All right. So I'm gonna give the name. So the name of this workflow, I just call it hello workflow. And the tag is gonna be it's gonna be the same tag, LST2. Descriptions. This is the data file for workflow, and a runner type, which is the type of the workflow. It's the same type here. Orquesta. Yeah, did I say it right? And the entry point, so it's basically the it basically I need to tell like what the YAML file, where's the entry point YAML file I just created. So I move that file in to the action folder. So I give relative action entry point.yaml and enabled to be true, so that once I register the workflow becomes available in StackStorm. That is what basically this enable field means. And parameter, I don't have any parameters, do I? Yeah, I don't have. I didn't define any parameters for the workflow. I'm not sure if it's gonna cause any issues when I try to register the workflow. But let's see. Let me save. Run the same command. Let's just see if I can register it. It seems like I can register it for sure. Well, give me a very ugly output here, but let's see. Okay. Okay. That's weird. Why don't? Okay, I don't see that. For managing workflow. Commands for workflow authoring rated operations. Only options for workflow are supported. Alright. These are commands for managing workflow. So, okay, so I gotta. Okay. So I didn't really register it successfully. You say name is a required field. Okay, which name properties? I got this type of error. You see here. Register workflow, fail to register actions, from packet highlighted to name is required field. Maybe I missed a name. Let's see. No, I gave a name. Oh, is it? Is this file? Let's see here. Did I miss something? Let me see, maybe I don't think I need to give the name on this entry point YAML file. Here. I give a name here. Alright. Yes. Is there a relative path to for workflow definition? So this the entry point is specified in the action metadata file. Oh, okay, my bad. I need to put the workflow directory inside the actions. Actually, okay, that could be a reason. Okay. Change the flows, and I can move the actions workflow and delete this workflow directory. So action, the whole workflow. Yeah, my bad. I put the workflow directory in the wrong folder now. So the workflow metadata file needs to be under just the actions. Okay. I can move this file over here. I'm gonna move the entry point inside the workflow. Yeah, we're gonna basically I just switch. Let me see. Did I? Oh crap! Did I? Did I just delete that file? Where I move it? There you go. Okay, now it looks good. Okay, now let me register it. So basically what I just did is that I moved, this is my workflow metadata file, and I just moved the entry point inside the workflow directories. So yeah. So I have copied the so we copy the path. And we're gonna I'm gonna paste that pass as a file there. So okay, now I'm gonna run the register. To CTL reload. So the action. Hope this time, yeah, it looks good this time. So let's see if that workflow becomes available in my path. And yes, so that workflow becomes available. All I can do right now is to run. What I can do is to execute that workflow. Okay, so workflow just run. Now, if I copy this execution get command, I'm gonna get details information about that workflow execution. Okay, so here is the detail of the workflow execution in general, and at the bottom there's a table that shows the 3 individual tasks as it runs. So if we run this execution list command, we can see that this is the same ID right here. So which is the very last execution. That's the execution for workflow. So you copy that ID and you run SC2 execution get. That's you're gonna see the details information about that workflow, and also you can see that workflow execution actually just contain the 3 individual action executions there. But because these are the individual actions defined as the tasks on that workflow. So yeah, that's pretty much all for today's video. I know it's kind of confusing in the very last part, but yeah, that's sometimes I haven't done this for a while. I couldn't remember the details, but this is basically how we can create a very simple workflow For more useful scenario, it could be something like we create workflow that requires some input as well as some vars, and even we want to create some workflow that we want to for which we want to create some we want to access the data from the StackStorm data store. So as well as trying to read some data from the StackStorm pack config file. So next time I'm gonna spend a little bit of time to just showing how we can just how we can read some data from StackStorm data store, and as well as the data from the StackStorm pack config file. So okay, that's it for today. I'm gonna see you next time.